Okay, hi. The Ranunculus? I feel like most people, if you've spent any time online, either as a knitter or maybe even as a crocheter, you've heard about the Ranunculus. Today we'll try it out, or in this video. I've already finished it, I just forgot to film an intro. I don't want to say too much, other than this is going to be like a project vlog with me spursing in some like opinions throughout the vlog. Can you say that? Spursing in? I'll sprinkle in my opinions throughout the vlog and then we'll talk a little bit more around the end of this video. And the only thing I want to clarify before we head straight into the vlog part, because I don't really have much to say in this intro, is that 1, there is some audio problems throughout this video. 2, I'm working with Sandes Garn Line. And 3, the main part of the body, like all of the main knitting, is being done on a 4.5mm needle. Because I think at some point I say a 5mm needle and that's wrong. 4.5. Anyway, let's jump straight into Cast on Storm and then I'll see you guys at the end of this video. Okay, hi, hello, Cast on Storm, right here. We're gonna cast this on. I have decided that I am not gonna cast on for the ribbing. I'm gonna skip all of that to under the ribbing, where there is a bunch of increases and then you go straight into like working the textured stitch. I did look at the pattern and it made me very confused, so I'm so excited to see whether or not I completely mess up or not. But yeah, I'll take care of the neckline later. And this yarn recommends a 4mm needle. I do think that either... Ooh, what will I do? I think I'll try and knit it on a 5 instead, just to give it a bit more of an airy gauge. Not sure. We'll see if I hate it or if I like it. But I also need to remember that when this goes in the wash, it's gonna shrink a little bit. So yeah. But yeah, we're gonna completely... I'll decide later whether or not I want to do the things for like the tight fitting neckline or the wide neckline. Now we'll just cast on for the body and see how that goes. Wish me luck, I'm terrified. This being one of my first textured knits, it's scaring me. Those instructions look confusing, but I can do it. I can do it. Just need to give myself the courage to.
He's just a tourist. He's in the middle part at the very top. So what we're gonna do now is have a closer look at some of the mountains in this mountain. All right, we'll go to Sandbox here. This is fun. You get to do a little...
Okay, I think in the yoke part, I'm like, what? In the round 4 of the yoke. I did the German short rows and all of that. I just went through and I counted all of my yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Counted all of my yarn. I counted all of my stitches. And I don't know how this happened, because I definitely had the correct number of stitches when I cast on and before I started the yoke. But now I have 13 stitches too much. So it must have... yeah, I don't know. I have 13 stitches too much. Like, I'm supposed to have 120 and I have 133. Yay. But honestly, I think I can make it work. Because as far as I can see, when I get to do like the lace over with the yarn overs and knit 2 together and SSK, that's a 6 pattern increase. So if I just decrease one of these stitches, then I should still be able to do the lace part. Yeah, I don't know. Here's how it's looking. You can barely see anything. Let me see if I can find anywhere. I don't know if you can see, but I have been doing some of the textured part. All of these stitch markers is me trying to count, because I've realized over time that I can max count 12, not 12. I can max count to 20, and after that, I don't trust myself to not start like messing up. So I count to 20, then I put a stitch marker down, and then I count to 20, and then, yeah, then I know how many 20s there are. That'll help me figure out the total amount of stitches. And that also made me realize that I have way too many stitches. Good thing though is that I think my German increases, like, it might be the very first time I've ever done German increases, or like German short rows. Not gonna lie, I think I've done a pretty great job. Like, you can't tell where any of the turns on the German short rows are. So I think I've done a pretty good job. No gapping or anything. Okay, I'll deal with this problem now.
I'm really tired. I'm gonna need to take a break. It is, and I need to.
I just want to do a quick update. I'm trying to put this thing on bigger needles so I can try it on for you real quick. I haven't been doing as much knitting. It's Monday. I didn't do any knitting this weekend because I was really busy with family and the kids. I haven't done the process that I wanted to, but I did finish the yoke part. This is the yoke part. I finished it. So that's amazing. And I figured out like the mistake I did, and then as I'm finishing the yoke, I realized another mistake I've made, but that was like just like an aesthetic visual mistake, not a numbers mistake. So I'm not gonna go back and fix that because it's basically just me like not reading the pattern correctly. And that was the same way when I messed up the number of stitches. That was also just me not reading the pattern correctly. Okay, I think I'm at a good point now where I can try this on over my head potentially without dropping any stitches. It's like on 2 pairs of needles right now, but I think we can do it. Also, if you're wondering, this is 1 skein of Sandes Garn Line. This is how much I have left of my first skein. And I've literally just started the raglan increases. And again, let's just remember that I haven't done like the neckline at all. Like the neck ribbing, I haven't done that. I'm gonna take off the mic so I don't mess up everything. And let's see if you can see what I'm doing at all. This is the back. Beautiful. Okay, I don't know if I've put it on like fully correctly. I think I have. This is how it's looking so far. So I'm basically just now gonna do a bunch of rows of raglan increases and hope for the best. The neckline is a bit wide, but again, if I do some ribbing, I think I'm gonna I don't think I'm gonna follow the ribbing in the pattern. I think I'm just gonna do a good like 2.2. No, not 2.2. 2x2 ribbing in either. Either I go down to 4mm needles, or then I do the entire ribbing in. Do I have 3.5, or should I do it in just 3mm needles? Do I have 3.5mm needles? I'm not sure that I do actually. Yeah. Okay, I think I'll do the entire neckline potentially in a 3.5mm needle. I'll do this neckline as soon as I'll run out of this. I'll do the neckline as soon as I'm running out of this, just because I feel like the neckline is going to do a bunch of cinching, and I would prefer the neckline to be done before I do all of the finished raglan increases, because I feel like that's the way I'll be able to see how many I need. This is so annoying. I don't like this sound. I'm currently working on 4.5mm needles, so for the neckline ribbing I'll do 3.5mm needles. And then I think it's looking good. It's looking pretty nice. I mean, from now on, it's basically just a normal, basic raglan t-shirt. And I am gonna try and make this. I'll not make the raglan tight fitting at all. Wait, can I place this? I'm not gonna make this raglan tight fitting, because again, I do have an assumption that as soon as I block this, and I'm gonna block it the way I think would be the easiest to wash it, which will probably be putting this in the washing machine and laying it flat to dry. And that's also the way I'll instruct my mom to wash it. Honestly, I think I've done a pretty good job so far. And now we're going in, like this was the hard part. These rows were the hard part. Now it's the easy part. Don't get me wrong, I could still potentially mess up a ton. I'll finish off this skein of yarn, and then I'll pick up the neckline stitches and do those real quick. I'm not sure how many I'll do, and I was also thinking I wanted to do like, I think I'll do it, how much is this? Potentially 4 centimeters of neckline, I think, potentially. And then I'll try and do an Italian binder for the first time ever in my life. I don't know, but the neckline needs to be really stretchy. And I don't think I'll do any physical, maybe I'll do a few decreases, just a little bit, but not as many as there is in the pattern. Like when you do the neckline, you increase like 30 times. And I think I'll do a few decreases when I do the neckline, but not 30 because I'm scared then I won't be able to pull it over my head. I can do this many decreases and it'll be fine. Now let's just see how many stitches that is roughly. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I can do roughly 15 decreases. Yeah. Okay. I am completely wrapped and trapped. I think I'll only do clips of me doing the ribbing, and I'll update you once the ribbing and the raglan increases are finished. I mean, so far, if you want to have a thought so far, it's a pretty basic pattern. Oh, I dropped stitches. Nope. Oh, I did. Ooh, I did more than just drop stitches. I even unraveled a couple of stitches. Okay. Anyway, so far I don't get like the overall hype. For me, this is so far just like a decent pattern. I don't get the hatred yet, and I don't get the hype. So far, I'm coming to the conclusion that it truly is just a pattern. That's my opinion so far. Yeah, ignore this. This is new. I just got it. Made it yesterday. We are kind of trying to get some different places in the home a bit more ready for when the baby arrives, because not necessarily with baby things, just like projects that we have been wanting to do forever. And I was like, if we don't do it now before I'm like 7 months pregnant, then it's not going to happen until baby is like a year old. So like, we're going to do it now. We also did something crazy in the entranceway. Basically removed a huge ass built-in piece in the entranceway. Now we just need a painter to come out and fix like the paint in that area, and then we have a closet already. Basically halfway built, like the still I built yesterday. Anyway, you don't care about my home renovations. You are here for my ranunculus. So I split for sleeves. Oh, we have a mess of cords right here. For some reason, I have not been able to find my my barber cords that aren't proper barber cords. So we have like a mess of a lot of needles on this project right now. But I split for sleeves, so that's really fun, really exciting. I really like that. But when I wanted to show you guys how it's looking now, and I also realized that I did not try it on before splitting for sleeves. I completely followed, last time when we tried it on and I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna do 4 more centimeters. I followed that completely, like fully, did not question it at all. Also, I feel like this is looking so extreme. Pregnancy, I don't really realize how much pregnancy is like changing different parts of my body, but I think I can't wear this bra anymore because this looks obscene. This is literally a non-padded bra with no wire or anything. It's such a relaxed fit, but my chest looks obscene. I should be looking at you guys. I should be. I'm not. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're not here to talk about my chesticles either. Stormy, focused. No talking about apartment stuff, and no talking about chesticles, even though they are looking very, let me just say they have never been so in my entire life. I have never been able to do that. What the fuck? I have always been a very itty bitty. Stop talking! I've been an itty bitty all my life, but I need to stop talking now. Okay, so let's see if we can try this on with my insane amount of cords. And also for this cord, that's holding on some sleeve stitches. I couldn't find the stoppers. Like on this side, I put the stoppers at the end of the cord. I couldn't find it, so I've just put on like my biggest size needles, so the stitches wouldn't slide off. But yeah, let's try this on. Ooh, okay. I can't think at all about this side because this cord is way too small to fill it out properly. I think this armhole will be okay for my mom. I'm so not sure. I think it'll be okay. This is how it's looking. Very beautiful, very demure. So basically I knit from this stitch marker right here. That's when we tried it on last together. Then I knit 4 centimeters, but instead of doing normal raglan increases, because I was afraid the body was going to become too wide, I did, instead of doing normal raglan increases, which is like every second round, then I did every third round. So 2 rounds of stockinette, and 1 round of increases, 2 rounds of stockinette, 1 round of increase, just to get some more length. And I do think when the weight of the body comes, it'll be a lot. I do think this is going to be really good when the weight of the body also comes, and like this lace part kind of stretches out a bit more, because I think it's looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's looking really good. But again, me making this whole trying out the ranunculus for the first time, I probably shouldn't do this many changes of the pattern. But I am very much, if I'm gonna knit this, I'm gonna like it. To this point was like the original amount of increases. Then I did 4 centimeters of almost normal raglan increases, just with another row of stockinette in between. And instead of doing, I think they want a cable cast on for underneath the arm, I just did a normal back loop cast on for underneath the arms. And yeah, then we just go around and around and around. Again, it's so hard making clothes for other people when you only have yourself to try it on. But I do think it's gonna be good. Over here it's looking really tight, but over here it's feeling really tight. But that's also because the stitch markers, the cable over here is a lot shorter, but over here with the bigger cable, what the stitches are like allowed to flow a bit more easily. It's feeling really good. Oh, the kids are coming home now. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're coming home now. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep on knitting until I reach the end of this ball. And then we'll do the sleeves. I'll just do stockinette ribbing for a few centimeters. 4, I think. Det gør jeg heller ikke. Det er far, der gjorde det i morges.
A few moments later.
Okay, first of all, if I look horrible, and if you see paint on my hands, on my shirt, that's because I'm doing a little bit of a home improvement project, and I just painted, and now that needs to dry for 4 hours before I can do the second coat. Also, you'll slowly see this turn into like a more livable area. I'm trying to make this apartment feel a bit more homey, because I've been really annoyed that I don't feel like any place of this apartment is like aesthetic. And I am a person who drives. I work best surrounded by like nice looking things and aesthetic things. Here, I think in the middle half of this video, we'll do a big talking about the ranunculus. Like you can see, everything's been split for sleeves. I've done both sleeves. We'll do a try on later. Currently I just dropped a bunch of stitches. Oh, one more. That one. The good thing about like learning more about knitting is that I am not as worried every time I drop stitches, because I know how to fix it. Like, it's so nice. No longer having that fear of, oh my god, I dropped a stitch, I'm gonna have to unravel. Like, no, you're good, bro. Let me do this time without dropping stitches, if I can. Let's do a little bit of talking about this. And again, we'll do a try on soon, as soon as this ball is used up. Then I only have, I think, 2 balls left. This entire thing is almost 3 balls of yarn. I think I'm ready to speak a bit more about my opinion on the ranunculus. And again, everything I say is with a grain of salt, because I have done a lot of modifications to this pattern, but I do this with all patterns, basically. Like, if I'm one of those people who's like really good at visualizing what instructions want me, like how that final project is gonna end up. Like, that's the reason why I feel like I'm also good at freehanding my own knitting, because I can think instructions forward and like make a 3D project in my head just from like words that I have in my head. And yeah, so I mod most patterns. I feel like the most love or like talk. Oh, I made a mistake down here. What is that? oh, it's not a mistake, it's where I joined yarn. I feel like most projects are easily modified. Like as long as you either are good at like visualizing products, as long as you're like good at visualizing what instructions are gonna do, and you know that's not how you like those things to fit, or as long as you have like a little bit of pre-understanding from other patterns, or you are just like a knitter who has more practice and understands like what different things do, then I think it's pretty easy to do modifications to every pattern. Let me change the camera angle. So I don't think this is a pattern that's easier than others to modify. And also the whole thing I don't get is like, okay, the main things I hear about the Ranunculus is that it's super easy to modify and you can work any gauge of yarn. Literally any gauge of yarn. And that's true for literally almost all raglans or round yokes, because you just continue the increases. Like, that's not a Ranunculus thing. That's true for almost all. I mean, it's true for literally all patterns. If you want to sit down and do, what is it called? It's not called sizing, gauging. Like, if you want to sit down and basically redo the tech editing on a pattern, you can do any pattern that you want in a different gauge. I do that a ton. I figure out what the pattern's original gauge is, what my gauge is, and then I just mess around with the stitches to make it fit. That I don't get, like the whole, I feel like it's a very normal pattern. I can't see what makes this so special that it needs to have this huge, like it's just a normal pattern. And the things that you can do to this pattern, you can do to any pattern. You can change the neckline of any pattern if you want to. You can change the gauge of any pattern if you want to. You can modify any pattern if you want to. Of course, there's some patterns that makes it more difficult because there is like a stitch pattern that you need to follow or something. But there's also a stitch pattern that you need to follow in this. So, and I think a lot of the hate I hear about the Ranunculus is like two main things. It's overhyped, which I kind of guess, but I'm not one of those people who's like something can be overhyped. Like if people like it, then people like it. I might not understand it, but it's hyped for a reason. And the reason is that people like it. Can you hear that? Sirens are going by in the past. I have like windows and doors open because of the painting thing I was doing. But yeah, and then the size inclusivity is not apparently very inclusive. Now, I can't speak about that. I am very privileged in the way of my body. Like, I have done modeling. My body has barely changed when I went through puberty. Like, I have dresses from before puberty that I can even wear now in my pregnancy. I don't think I am the person who needs to speak about body inclusivity. I would much rather have you look towards some actual people where body inclusivity and stuff like that affects them more, and where pattern inclusivity affects them more. Because I don't understand enough about how patterns work in bigger sizes to be able to speak about that. I will say I have seen people of all sizes make this pattern, and I think it looks good on some of the people, and some of the people I don't think it looks good on, and that has most of the time less to do about the body size and more about personal style, or some things just don't look good on certain people. And that has nothing to do with the body type or body size, but more like the vibe they have as a person. But again, I don't want to be the one that says this pattern is size inclusive and works for everybody. I did notice that there was a lot of sizes, but I don't know how well graded all of those sizes are. So I can't speak about that. That's one where I feel like you need to find somebody else who has that closer to their body and probably a bigger understanding. And then you could argue that just because I have a smaller body doesn't exempt me from like having that understanding, and I am open to learn so much more, but I will never have the experience on my body of things not working out the same way. Like, I will never have the experience of a plus size person unless I myself someday become plus size. So like, I cannot give you a full opinion about all of that with the pattern. I can say that like, everything I hear as like, this is why this pattern is amazing, is something I feel like you could add to all patterns. Again, I don't feel like this is anything crazy. It's a very normal pattern. I don't hate it. I don't think it's insanely good and deserves more attention than other patterns. For me, this is very much just a pattern. I think, yeah, maybe that could be that this pattern is slightly overhyped, but again, who am I to say whether or not something is overhyped? But I just don't understand why we are putting this pattern on a pedestal, or like some people are putting this pattern on a pedestal and be like, this is the pattern I'll knit 10 times in my life. Because like there's so many other patterns you could continue to knit in different yarns, in different gauges. Just like with this one, you just have to think a little bit extra, continue with the raglans and creases for a little bit, or change the neckline up or something like that. I feel like this is gonna be my final big take on the Ranunculus pattern. I don't think it's that crazy. It's not revolutionary or anything, so think of it as any other pattern, I guess. That's all I have to say. Literally think of it as any other pattern, because there's no reason to think of it in any other way. It's literally just a normal pattern, and all the things you can do to this pattern, you can do to so many other patterns. Easy peasy, set, done, that's it. Anyway, I'll finish knitting the body of this t-shirt, and then let's see if I need 2 more balls or if 1 other ball will be enough and I can get my money back. Now, trying this on will be difficult because, 1, I'm a bit taller than my mom, so figuring out the perfect length is always difficult when I make things for her. And the pregnancy belly kind of makes it harder to see how things are going to lay on a non-pregnant body. But yeah, I'll just continue doing some knitting. I'll give you some updates and then we'll talk again when this is done. Okay, end of the video. Project done, project finished. I have shown you guys clips of me trying on the Ranunculus before it was blocked, but I haven't shown any videos of me trying it on after it was blocked. Personally, I don't know if maybe you can see it a lot more on camera, but I don't think blogging did a huge thing. I don't think it did much at all. Maybe when I'm editing this, I'll change my opinion. But as far as I remember, I don't think it changed anything at all with the yarn. I also don't have it physically with me right now because I already gave it to my mom. And since it's made for her, I'm so happy to say that it fit her. It fit her like perfectly, which I was so happy about. Now we'll just have to see over the summer whether or not she actually uses it. Again, it's her now, I don't care what she does with it, but I hope she loves it. Like, final opinions about the project or like process of knitting it. It was a pretty simple knit. Yes, I had some problems reading the instructions, but that was more like my brain being stupid and not the instructions being problems. And I do also think, like, I did a lot of modifications, I know that, but I do that to almost all patterns. Almost all patterns I modify in some way or another. But as far as we are talking knitting wise, I feel like this pattern went super quickly. I have no problems right there. Like, I really enjoyed knitting it. It went really fast. And it's always nice not having to work sleeves. So I can't complain about that. Should I get something to drink? A coffee? Yeah. Okay, iced coffee. Let's see, hopefully this helps. What was I talking about? I don't think I have much to say, like my thoughts on the actual pattern that I haven't already said throughout the video. Again, I think it's a very basic pattern. I don't get the big hate. I don't get the huge love. Like, I can see myself making another one, but for most patterns I buy, I like the idea of remaking it. So again, I don't have much to say. I do think I want to go a little bit deeper into like the body inclusivity that I talked about earlier. Not really go into it, but I just want to say that I know just because I'm a straight size person doesn't mean that I shouldn't educate myself, and I'm so down to do a lot more education. But my main point about like, I don't know how well gauged, is that what it's called? Graded. I don't know how well graded this is, and I probably will not know unless I knit one of the bigger sizes and have a bigger sized body to compare it with. So I really cannot say much about how well, like, I know there is a bigger size, I know there is a big size range, but I don't know how well graded everything is. So I can't speak at all about that part of like the critiques that this pattern gets around that. Again, I feel like I don't have a lot to say because I already said so much throughout the video. At the end of the day, I'm really happy with the project that I made. My mom is really happy with the t-shirt that she got, and I can't tell you anything about the yarn. It was okay to work with. I didn't find it like difficult on my hands or anything, but I of course don't know how it's gonna hold up, because I'm not going to be using this t-shirt, and my mom has only had it for like a week at filming this outro, so she hasn't told me anything about how the yarn is wearing. So I don't have too much thoughts about the yarn, and the pattern itself, I feel like it's pretty basic. I enjoyed it as much as I enjoy knitting most things. I like knitting, what can I say? Okay, I feel like I've rambled enough and this video is long enough. Please guys, give me your opinion about the Ranunculus. Have you tried it? If you haven't, are you willing to try it? Or is this one of the things where you're like, I don't see myself ever trying it, which is also completely okay. I just wanted to like try it out to see what the whole thing was about. I can again see myself maybe making it again in the future. I'm not sure I'll make it for myself, because I did really like how the Ranunculus looked on me when it was tight fitting, but it's not really my style currently. But hey, my style may change, and at some point I might want a beautiful Ranunculus. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say. If you're wondering, this shirt right here is a self-drafted drop stitch knit shirt made in Twisted Solid from Hobie. I made this a long time ago. But yeah, I think that's it. Let's just wrap this video up. It's way too long. I don't even have anything more to say, and I don't even think what I have to say is that interesting, because it's a very lukewarm opinion. So okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Yeah, please tell me what you've been working on throughout this video, what you think about the Ranunculus, and I think that's everything. If you want to support me, check out the link down below to give me a tip on Ko-fi. Otherwise, if you don't have any money to spare, which is also completely okay, you can like, subscribe, and leave a comment. That's everything. Okay. Bye 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 bye. This is helping a little bit, but not enough. Like, I could still just lay down and take a nap right here, right now. Finish this entire cup of coffee and then take a nap. I could do that. Okay. Bye.